me, Kiana, coming at you again with the second part 2 video of the requested chicken pot pie recipe. And what I've done is I've already sauteed my onion and celery. And in that same pan that you sauteed, I told you guys to make sure that you add some flour, but make sure you add your flour in a bowl with some cold water. You want to stir it until it gets like a paste. Stir it where you don't see it smooth, where it's smooth and you don't see any lumps. That's how you create homemade gravy without lumps, okay? The key is the water or the liquid that you use, heavy cream, milk, being cold, not hot. A lot of people add it to hot broth, flour to hot broth, and that's why they get lumps of gravy and it doesn't melt. I mean, that's because the temperature goes from dry to hot. You need to have a transition for that flour, not just cold to hot or dry to hot. You need to have it dry, cold, then warm it up to hot temperature. Okay, so that's what you're seeing right here. When you see the bits of onion and celery inside of the gravy. And what I'm going to do is, I told you guys to make sure that you add your 2 cans of mixed vegetables, add a can or regular baked or boiled potatoes, whole potatoes that you want to dice up. You can also add some baby carrots that's already done, whether that's canned or like this. Okay. Now, if you're fixing it like this, you want to cut these in half. Okay, because you don't want all your vegetables to be bite-sized and then this big old piece of carrot. Okay. I used approximately about 7 chicken thighs, and what I did was I skinned that and also removed the bone and fat and bristle until you have bite-sized pieces of chicken lumps. Okay? And this is a meal that you definitely can stretch because you can actually feed 4 to 6 people on about 6 chicken thighs with this meal. So, that's a great thing. Those guys created all of this, so you're going to dump this in a bowl or a pot. You're going to break them up. Make sure you go over it once more, that you get all of that fat that may be there or skin, because you don't want that in your dish. So this is basically my double check, and as you can see, I am finding some little pieces that I don't want in my dish. You want to also remove any bristle. Now, we created the broth or the gravy from the broth that the chicken was boiling in because all that flavor is in there. So you want to use that, take advantage of that, and use that for your base or your clear liquid for your homemade gravy. And then, like I said, add that flour and cold water to that. Let it come to a boil, stir it, because it will wind up clumping at the bottom. So the key is making sure you stand over top of it and stir it. Okay? Also, while stirring, I put in some salt, some adobe, some accent, and some black pepper. This is a dish that you don't have to use a whole bunch of different kind of seasonings, and you don't have to make it try to add your own, all that extra bull crap. You really don't have to do that with this dish. This is a classic. This is something that you really don't want to mess with too much. You want to be true to the taste of it, true to the real original flavor of it. And this is a dish that your grandma used to make. I know my grandmother made it. She actually rolled her own dough. That's the only difference. So we're doing a twist on that by using frozen pie crust dough. The beauty with that pie crust dough is that you can make it into whatever shape that you want. In my case, I'm using my handy oblong shape, rectangular shape casserole dish. your 2 cans of mixed vegetables. Make sure you drain that liquid off because any additional liquid can make your gravy thin. You're going to add those potatoes, which about, if you boil potatoes, you probably got to boil about 3 or 4 medium-sized potatoes because it already has it. It's just you add a little extra something in there to give it more of a homemade taste. Plus, everybody loves the potatoes and chicken pot pie. So you definitely want to not skimp on the things that people like. So we're just going to dice that up in chunks. Then once that's done, we're going to pour that gravy and celery and onion mixture on top of it. It's already seasoned, so once it goes into this, it's going to season even further. It's going to season the chicken and everything. So you don't have to put any additional seasonings on it. I love black pepper on my chicken pot pie, but I added although I added some in the gravy mixture, I add more to my own dish because I like a lot of black pepper in my chicken pot pie. You can also make this by laying some biscuits on top after you put the mixture into your baking dish. That's also another semi-homemade quick version of pot pie, but I like it to look really authentic and true to what it actually is. So I use the pie crust. Now again, you make sure that this came to a boil, and it should be the consistency of like that. Okay. Just going to dump all of that. And then you're going to stir all of this stuff together. Make sure you stir it good because the seasoning was in the gravy. And then you're going to bake this with the pie crust. And I made it this consistency. The reason why is because once it bakes, the temperature is going to rise even more to gravy, and you don't want your pot pie to come out dry. Because the more the temperature rises, because it is flour in there, it's going to be thicker and thicker and thicker. So this is not the consistency it'll be once it comes out. It's going to be a little bit more thicker, but yet it's not going to be so thick that it winds up drying out. Okay, we're going to put this aside for right now. And get our pie crust. In case I didn't say, you're going to need 2 of these pie crusts. 2 packages, not 2 packs, not 2 rolls. You need 2 packages, so it's 4 rolls altogether. Make sure you look out for the coupons, ladies, because I actually had coupons for this. Again, out of my Sunday paper. where if you buy like three, you get buy three, you get like $2 off or something like that, and then they were gonna sale on top of that. So I wound up buying four because I knew I was gonna use people eat dish probably more than likely when I'm fixing something like this. Now, what you want to do is you may want to bake this for a few seconds before you may want to bake this for a few seconds, well, not literally seconds, but you may want to bake this for about 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes, before you even add the mixture. I'm going to tell you why and how that's a trick. The reason for that is because some people undercook their chicken pot pie and it winds up being a doughy mess at the bottom. You don't want that. So to avoid that, bake this for about 5 minutes. Get it semi-brown, not all the way brown, because then this becomes crunchy. You don't want that either. So about 4 to 5 minutes, bake this, then add your mixture, and then top the dish with 2 more of these pie crumbs. Okay, so that's the stage that I'm into now. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the oven and let this bake for, like I said, up to 5 minutes, making sure I wash it, and that's so that it doesn't become a doughy mess at the bottom. I preheated my oven to 350. As you all know, I don't time my stuff. I know by my nose when something is done. I can be in another room and I can say, Chuck, that's done, take it out. I just know. So, yeah. So unfortunately, I can't tell you how long it's going to be in the oven completely. I can tell you this needs to be in the oven, the actual this dough, the bottom layer, for about 4 to 5 minutes. But the actual whole dish, I can't tell you how long that'll be. You just want to have to make sure that you wash it, and that's that. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this in the oven. Alright, you guys, the next stage will be seeing this come out and layering this, and then layering the top layer of the pie crust. Love you all. Peace out.